Right, hello everyone, and welcome to another Top Flight show. So I'm Chris, and we've got Rich and Cameron and Jasmine back to join us. So we've got tons to talk about this time. We've had Jarrow Track Meeting, which was a collaboration with the BMC and England Athletics, which was very exciting to have that. We also had, in quick succession, Aintree 5k and Jubilee Bridge 10k. So we can talk about the wins there and the prize monies, and then on to Battersea, which is the second Battersea race of the season, which is coming up on Wednesday the 24th of July. So at time of recording, less than 2 weeks away, and we've got a super strong field, and that event has moved on massively since the first one in April. So the track race, we were nearly all there. Jasmine was busy working, but I
wish I wasn't. I'd much rather have been at the track.
Then again, maybe not, because that box that I was in was a bit sweaty, the commentator box. He was doing a good job though.
That commentary box did smell like, didn't it?
Yeah,
did it smell more after or before?
As the event went on, it got worse. Yeah, it got worse.
Trying to tell me, like.
Yeah, no, it wasn't you. Yeah, honestly, it wasn't. It was a good evening. A few little technical hitches, but things to work on for the next one. We're going to smash it at the next one, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly. So, straight up, say we've got the next one is going to be a Gateshead 800 metre races on Sunday the 18th of August. So that's with Gateshead Harriers doing their tartan games. We're going to basically stop the normal programme and then have an hour, power hour, effectively, which is going to be like the Top Flight BMC. So paced races again, mixed races, prize money. Same again where we're going to set a target time, and if you run under that, you'll trigger the extra bonus times. We've got some really exciting names already signed up. So Sarah McDonald was wanting to run on the ladies' side. Hopefully I can persuade Stacey Smith to do the double. And then on the men's side, there's quite a lot of very good runners signed up, or who I've said that I won't say all of the guys who are going to run, but I train with a lot of them, so you can probably guess. If you look at our training group, they're all running, including some very, very good runners this year. So
150 on the cards?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
And the bonus times will be on 151 and 210. So
Nice.
Really achievable.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
And then talking about the prize money being achievable, so at Jarrow in the 1500s, we set them target times on 3:47 and 4:25. Both of them were hit for the winning time, which meant that both Cameron Allen and Stacey Smith got £250 each. So 3:45 and 14:19.
Yeah. It came a long way, prize money. I remember back in the day rocking up to them events on Saturdays, BMCs, and I mean, not that you expected it, but you get niche. Whereas now, you're getting 250 quid if you're hitting target time. So it's only going to, that kind of incentive, it's only going to generate more interest. And I think anyone who's a half-decent athlete who sees them target times, you're going to be thinking, surely I'm lining that up for a couple of quid here. I can't see why they wouldn't be snapping their hand off, Cam.
Yeah, maybe. Wait, look.
Well, you should. Tartan games.
I think you got them bang on though, the times, the target times, because they were both were they both 2 seconds under?
Yeah.
Is that right? So that's
six for Stacey because it was 4:25.
Yeah. But I know it was a windy day as well, so like it was pretty. Well, it wasn't totally windy. It was a bit of a breeze there, and Cameron from the front run 3:45. Wasn't bad, was it?
Yeah, we did have some really great pacemaking though as well to add into that.
Two pacemakers in the air race as well. You don't often get that, do you?
Yeah, so in terms of the pacemaking, when I went through and did all the seeding, I grouped people, and so I knew it wasn't just like one pacemaker at the front of the race. If there was some obvious groups where there was going to be gaps, I put extra people in. So massive shout out to the pacemakers right the way through the field. And like, for example, in the A race, it's harder to pace the men's A race. That's the hardest one to pace because it's the fastest one, and it's really easy. You see it in the Diamond League all the time, to go out far too fast and spread it out. So we had two pacemakers in, one Ellis who went to 600, and that was the buffer, so that the second pacemaker, Ben Schofield, who's 154 guy, but 400 hurdles, 800 runner, it meant that he just needed to judge that behind Ellis, so that 600 he was right, could continue on towards a K. And then we had Adrian Bales, who's very experienced 350 guy, and his brief was just don't go onto the inside lane. Just look for that natural split, because if Cameron Allen or whoever else was going to go and run 3:45 and there was then a gap opened to a group who were trying to break 3:50 for the first time, could he get into that gap and take over? And he did, and we had like some guys under 3:50 for the first time. So yeah, there was, I think, 84% either ran a PB or a season's best, which just showed that we absolutely nailed it, because that's 22nd of June, you're deep into the season then.
Yeah.
So that's a very high stat. The races went on time, one every 10 minutes and stuff. So yeah, it was really good, especially for a first event, like I said.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we all chatted about it after, and there's things that we can work on, and there will be improvements, I would say. But it was a good first crack there. They both impressed me, Cameron Allen and Stacey Smith, in different ways. Like, Cameron really just took the race by the scruff of its neck, and you know, when them pacemakers went, he just grafted it out, and you could see when he hit the bell, he clocked the time and knew that the money was on the line, and he really rallied that last 400, so I was impressed with that. And then Stacey, I was impressed on a slightly different line, that it's a first track race back. Yeah. There's probably, she might not have felt it, but I feel like there will have been a degree of pressure because of what she's done before. So I think she'll have probably wanted to come back, keep her head down and race. And I think when you're a bit of a face on the North East scene, you're going to get recognised. But she handled it well in 4:19 to open up a season that she probably doesn't even know what she's going to do with the rest of the season. It was that was a class run. So both good runs in different ways. And then we had the age grade.
Yeah, so the age grade prize money. So I didn't want the prize money just to be your elite men and elite women, seniors. I wanted to try and engage people down the field. And there's no like perfect system to do this. And I guess traditionally you would have had an athlete of the match type scenario, but it would be really subjective. But if you go on to Power of 10, you can search your performance by age graded, which effectively for a senior is the world record in any event, any discipline is 100. So it's your percentage away from the world record. And then they do that for all, they do it by age, so on the way down and on the way up. So you could find that a 75-year-old, their age graded performance might have been better, or a 12-year-old and then it also means that, so yeah, I guess the caveat here is like, you could find that some age groups, your age graded could be a little bit, like inflated because the world record for that age is particularly weak or something. But anyway, it's there. It's not subjective. It's data driven, and yeah, it's just a little extra novelty. And we had Adrian Page picked up the extra bonus money for that, which was great, and hopefully that'll engage people. Because again, if we want to roll this out a little bit further and add extra events, you could compare event on event. So you could, if you wanted to, you could add a javelin into the program, and you would still be able to have the prize money by age graded. For the overall thing. So it's just an extra level that that is there for us to use in athletics, but it hasn't really been done yet. So a little bit of a novelty, but works well.
Teasing us there, a little bit of javelin. Is that coming?
Who wants to throw one?
Well, I've actually got a PB in the javelin. So I've got a PB in the javelin. It's not very far.
3 metres.
Not very far.
It fell out of its hand.
Yeah. That's going to be the next thing. Top line
the wind blew it a bit.
Top flight throw series.
Yeah, I think the more embarrassing thing is I did it like 2 British leagues in a row, and the second one I threw even less distance.
We've all been there, haven't we? At the young
he went to go for a third one.
You end up doing the high jump, long jump, triple jump, whatever else everyone else throws you in for.
Yeah, exactly.
Good times though.
All good crack. So yeah, the next one, Gateshead in August. So
what
it's
is
late,
it? August 28th.
No, August the 18th.
August the 18th, right?
It's a Sunday. It's late on in the season. There's still a BMC Gold Standard at Bury soon after. So
it's the Grand Prix, isn't it?
There's the Grand Prix first, and then there's a Gold Standard later on in the season. But it means there should still be people wanting to race, but then often at that time of the year you're going like, there's no races, where do I find it? Get yourself to Gateshead. We'll see you there. Yeah,
if you want some good quality pacemaking, on the 18th of August for 800 metres, usually in a Gateshead Stadium, historic event.
Exactly.
Get yourself there. There's also great prize money, and it's also very achievable. So it's a no-brainer, really. So get yourself there on the 18th of August.
That's a real that.
Be there or be square.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, that was super exciting, and we also, since the last podcast, had two other races. So we had Aintree 5k and then Jubilee Bridge 10k, and talk us through it for Aintree. Fantastic results.
It's good. Well, I mean, leading the charge, Amy Eloise Neal.
Yeah.
Was it 15:30 the winning time?
15:30.
Yeah.
Which meant she triggered the course record bonus times as well, so £650 in total.
£650, not a bad morning really for a 9 a.m. race.
Yeah.
She wanted just to get a run out, I think, leading into what was, some track races. And she did that in pretty stylish fashion, didn't she? So 15:30 in the ground. The ground was pretty loose in certain places, wasn't it? But it was overall, it was a quick course. It was flat, 2 laps.
Yeah.
And the times were pretty fast. And some good athletes in there. Omar Ahmed, what was his winning time? Was it
14:12?
12 again from the front.
That was impressive.
Yeah.
When I look back at that Saturday morning, what was that? Was 9 o'clock?
Yeah, well,
9:15 start.
9:15, 14:12.
Pretty early,
and he again talking about taking a race by the scruff of the neck. He was just.
He went from the go, didn't he? So
yeah, 450 quid. And you know what? When I watched back, Omar ran a bit. He ran really wide as well on that top section where you said there was a little bit. There's about a 300-400 meter section, which used to be the old Formula One circuit. That was battered during the Grand National when they've done the site build with the vehicles coming in, and it was supposed to be hard packed and filled in, but it didn't get done in advance. So there was a bit of like rubbly bit on the course, which was a bit frustrating. Yeah, because there's nothing really you could do about it. It was a short section. It just meant that the tightest line was the one that was measured, like the closest to the inside line. So I noticed on the camera Omar ran wide both them times, which probably affected by a couple of seconds on each lap, and it was 2 laps. So the course, it's so fast that it's like it's really flat and fast. Yeah, it was just that one little corner of running wide. But I mean that's something that by the time we have that event next year, whenever we hold it at Aintree, that should be solved. Hopefully a fresh bit of tarmac.
Yeah, most definitely.
Your boy, Sam Stabler, second
place.
Look,
I mean, it was, again, another completely different angle. He's came in there for the first race in I don't know how long, a long, long time, just to help himself build back into it and try and be competitive. And he was competitive for the first lap, but he dropped off in the second lap. He's just dropped down from altitude. But look at him now, he's just ran 8:04 twice. He's been away from racing for a long, long time. And, this has really sort of propelled him into some pretty good form so far. And I think he'll keep improving. But it just shows that you don't have to be in fantastic form to race these events. There's always going to be competition because there was competition behind him and in front of him. So it was someone for him to try and latch onto. So you don't have to be thinking about breaking course records to race it and actually get something out of the race. Yeah,
exactly. I think some people want to only race when they feel like they're like 100% and ready to absolutely nail it. But actually, sometimes if the pressure's a bit more off, like for Sam, pressure was off. He was just going in, see where I'm at. Yeah. But it has pulled him along. Like a race pulls you along massively. You do have to be careful if you're not ready to race, don't race and risk pulling yourself along too quickly and picking up some niggly injuries. But that's obviously worked really well for Sam. And even in the build-up, we said somebody of his quality, at one point it'll click and they'll just pull something out of the bag. And that race is the one that's like giving that shock to the system. And then he's gone like 8:04 back to back, as you said, is class. And he's only going to go.
It's only going to be up from here really for him. So I think just shows that you don't need to be in your best shape possible to it. I mean, I'd much rather be at 9:15 a.m. towing the line of a top flight race series than a park run. Yeah. On a really nice course that's flat, and this is going to be again.
And getting paid to do it.
Yeah, exactly. So
bit of prize money.
Yeah, and picking up the points, so hopefully we can persuade Sam to come back for more.
You'd think he's going to fancy that like later on in the year, 10k or something like that in the top flight series.
Yeah.
Surely.
I hope so.
I think he mentioned to me that he's definitely going to race for try and get a first place at least 2-3 times if he can. So he'll be a regular racer from now on to the end of the season. He'll be a regular appearance.
And I think it's good that as well. We've got obviously the other top flight series races that are coming in. they've all got that World Athletics license now, and each event we're seeing more people like engaging with that, and more international athletes saying, "Oh, I've seen that you've got the World Athletics permit." Yeah. I just got this license through for Ribble Valley for Jarrow. That was remeasured because we already had the course certificate, so that's been remeasured. The Fulham one's getting done on the same day as Battersea.
Nice.
So yeah, Warrington's been done, so everything's done now. So everything's got that World Athletics permit.
In your top flight series, what is, and you don't have to go into the depths of hell to give me this answer, what is your quickest course? Off the top of your head, give me an answer.
I reckon the Newcastle and the Quayside 5K ones.
You reckon? Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Battersea's obviously really quick and known as being quick. But it's the thing with the Quayside one, with it being out and back, you've just got that one turn.
Yeah.
And if it's not windy, you fly. I mean, the proof's in the pudding for the time with the 13:45. I think Jarrow as well, like really. That's so
like
flat and fast.
Road out.
Yeah, I felt like Jarrow was pretty good.
It's slightly uphill, like very slightly, and you don't feel it. And then you turn around and you're like, oh, this feels a lot easier than going out that way.
Once you're out onto the road, which is like 2K out and back twice with like the easier bends, once you're on that bit there, you can't find a flatter course than that. The issue with Jarrow last year was because of the timings, the front of the race caught the back end, and then there was overtaken, but that's negated this year by having like the A and B starts. So the top flight will be on the second lap, like they were at Newcastle, when the B race starts. So they'll get a total clean hit. So Jarrow will be even faster. But Newcastle was also rapid. It's just that the wind that we had on that day.
It was bad.
They're all quick. They're all quick.
Yeah, I mean, let's go on to Jubilee, which wasn't as quick.
No, but with Jubilee, I know me and Cam were in the studio and we were watching that, and that was, for Rich Allen at the front of the men's field, that was just a long, hard solo slog, and it didn't look like a great day for it. He was out there getting battered by the wind, and he just, again, he just took it on and he grafted it out, got the win, got a good workout, got some good dollar out of it. Yeah. Slightly different for Kirsty Longley. She was a little bit further back in the pack, so would have been able to shelter behind other athletes, jump in packs, work off them, work in groups. So it might have been different for Kirsty, but I do feel overall that it was a tough day at the office for the athletes that were out there.
When we were watching it, weren't we? Because Richard Allen, I mean, he was streaks above them in terms of fitness. I mean, he pulled away. It was like someone just said to him, just drop the cog and go. Yeah. And there was daylight within a few hundred metres between him and the second place. Yeah. But he sat in for the first K, didn't he? Yeah. Maybe he thought because of the tactics, he'll just run a tactical race.
Yeah, he was probably he might have not known who was there and thought, well, we'll feel it out and see what the setup is with this. But yeah, he was away and he just it's hard. Well, it might not be hard for everybody. I always would find it hard when you get on the front and you've won a race and you've got it wrapped up, really pulling it out of yourself on that day and clocking a quick time. For me, I could never do it because my mindset was, well, when I've won, and some athletes can do it, but it looked like for Rich Allen there it was a bit of a canter towards the end. I would say.
Rich and Kirsty, they both picked up 200 quid and 25 points for the wins, but so that course wasn't as fast. But we are going to be reviewing all the course. I'm not saying that we particularly chop and change every course, but there are other strong contenders that we've taken on. Some I can't quite mention, but one that was supposed to be in there originally was Surrey Half Marathon, which is flat and fast, and that is sort of back on for us next year in the spring. It had to get moved to September for some road issues, so we had to replace that in the series, which rejigged things. But yeah, hopefully that one will get in, and then we're going to have one in Glasgow. So I'll say that, I'll not do too much revealing there. But it was the Scottish National 10K course a few years ago, won in about 29:30ish. So there's a really fast course. Yeah, but I'll keep the rest of the info back until it's all fully announced. But I'm expecting that one to be in there next year as well, to spread it geographically, bring something into Scotland as well. But yeah, it's going to be constant review. Just need the courses to be as fast as possible and super good races. But then, on the other hand, that race that we've seen at Warwick was mint when it was a tough course.
Yeah,
so
it was.
It depends on the time
It gives
of
a
year
different
as well.
dynamic, doesn't it? And that's what we're saying. That's what we like about the series as well, because it's not a time-based points system or anything like that. Well, it is, but you pick up points for your victory, and that you know,
placing.
Definitely entices some racing, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It encourages the
racing.
racing.
That's what we want to see as spectators of the sport. We want to see more races. I mean, it's a bit like the Diamond Leagues when we watch them week in, week out, and it's strung out from the start. Sometimes it would be nice to see some maybe a lack of pacemaking and see some of the races the races unfold.
Guess we'll get that at the Olympics, won't we?
Yeah, it's true.
And that leads us nicely to the overall series rankings. So the latest graphics that went up for the series rankings have now got an extra circle on the end with our fan favourite Jason Bennett has got a 3 in there, which indicates that he's ran 3 races and can now score on the overall series. So if you now have a little number at the end, it tells you that you've done more than one race. So if you've done 1, obviously that's obviously names on there. But once you've done 2, you'll get a little 2 next to your name. Once you've done 3 or more, the 3's on there. And yeah, the next event that we've got at Battersea, we've got a few more who might pick up their like second race or the third race, and I think that's going to be quite a theme going through at the end of the season. We'll start seeing people scoring for like the overall series, because we do need more people to come back and do 2 and 3. And well, let's get on to Battersea. The attendance, we're already at 100 entries, and last time we had 30 finishers. So yeah, the series has obviously taken off. We've had a great engagement, and yeah, let's go for Battersea.
Well, I mean, should we start off with the main contender?
I think so.
I think we should start off with the main man, personally. Should we list off a few of his facts? I mean, I've got them brought down here because there was that many of them that I thought, well, I should write them down because we don't really want to miss them off and give any disrespect out. Should we start off with 2007 Gateshead International Mile Champion, the 2001 Junior Great North Run Champion?
Yeah,
he was an under 20 then.
You know what? I actually thought you were bigging up somebody else here until you reeled off 2007. Nobody else in this race was born.
This is
during
before I
them
was
times.
born.
Come on then.
I don't even. I
can't believe your narcissistic streak thought that he was talking about somebody else.
So the 2003
this
UK
is
number 1 over
3,000
metres for the 20s. A European Junior 1500 metre finalist.
That is true.
In 2006.
Yeah.
And actually, all time, second fastest veteran 35 over 5k.
That is good longevity.
So that is very, very good longevity indeed.
I didn't know that.
Can we guess who it is? I mean, you must know this, Red, because you're his biggest fan.
I get the honour.
The
honour of sitting next to him on the couch.
Yeah, you didn't say Athletics Weekly cover.
Current Athletics Weekly cover.
Because he's too jealous.
Yeah, I wonder why Cam omitted that information there.
Mentioning that one.
So here we go. It's going to be ready for next week. 2 weeks time.
It looks pretty nice.
Yeah, it looks lush, isn't it?
Is that part of the run-through kit series as well?
Well, yeah, we're getting the Top Flight stash made up and printed up. So yeah, that's going to be coming soon. But
do you know what? I'll tell you what.
I'm going to be repping it.
It's a lovely vest. That's
when
a good
I see
thing,
your hairy chest sticking out of a nice speed suit. When you told that line for the next one, then I'll be pretty impressed. I'm telling you now. But that's nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's not call it a comeback. Yes.
Anyway, look. The bottom line is, the big man himself, the organizer, the director of Top Flight Series, is making a return to racing.
He's torn the line
at Battersea Park 5K. The one, the only Chris Parr.
Getting high on my own supply. Well, I haven't made the start line yet. I'm going to know my injury record, so let's see. But I guess the target for me, after being out for so long, is and I'm under strict instructions to be controlled here. I would like to run at Armagh in February.
Nice.
And you have to be under 16 minutes to enter. So I'm under strict instructions to run at like 16-minute pace. And then make sure that I get the Armagh qualifying time.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do too much. Playing it down here, but
I reckon there's a sub 13:50 if you get some consistent training in from now to Armagh.
Yeah, I mean, by the time it gets to Armagh, I'll actually be V40. So I haven't raced as a V35 other than like Armagh because of like COVID.
What's the V40 world record?
I think the British record was like 14:10. So that's probably a little bit.
No, that's within the reach. I think.
Well, not from current level of fitness, but
yeah, not now. That's a while.
I wouldn't rule out.
Yeah,
time will tell.
There you go.
I've got until 44.
But anyway, aside from Party, we've got some.
Yeah, well.
The real race. Can you get on with the real race?
I know we all know he's the favourite, but like
enough about the fun runners.
So no.
I don't know when you can say that term.
I will be having fun as long as I finish.
But no, yeah, it's true. But no, some of the big names, Jacob Allen from Highgate, fantastic, great athlete, international, 28:45 this year over 10k in Valencia. He's 47:13 over 10 miles as well.
That's rapid.
He is pretty rapid.
That's rapid. 47:13. That's impressive.
Definitely up there for the one of the big favourites.
Yeah, well, he ran like 13:50, didn't he, at Armagh this year? 13:47 there last year. 13:43.
And he was tactical at Armagh this year as well. Pretty tactical.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Probably
wasn't
more in the
standard Armagh, was it?
Yeah.
So.
Alfie Manthorpe from the city of Sheffield just recently signed with New Balance. Coached by Helen Clitheroe now, and I mean, if the people she's got under her wing, if there are anything to go by their form, I can imagine he'll be in pretty good shape. 13:50 at Armagh.
Again, that was horrible conditions.
Horrible conditions, yeah. 10th at UK Champs. Probably, I mean, I did see an interview recently. He said that he was still adapting to new training style. I mean, sometimes, we all know it does take time to adapt to new training, and he's 10th probably doesn't reflect the caliber of athlete he is. But again, 10th UK Champs is very strong. So.
Yeah, Alfie's somebody, like, for me, came on the scene at like 5k, even when he was young. Yeah. So then I had to have a look to see, had he actually done a lot of middle distance before that? Because obviously that would be the natural progression. So he has got a 3:46 in him. So he's still got a good pace. So let's.
By training that group, I think that'll go down, to be honest, over the next year.
Yeah, you would think so. It's just I didn't know even if he had a 1500 PB
form,
sort of thing.
He's a regular winner of like the podium 5Ks, isn't he? Like he's got a good sprint finish. Like he's strong at the end of a race. So if he's there at the end, I think he's definitely obviously within being a favourite. So. I
think we're going to have hopefully we have a bunch in a group finish. We've got some of the really great runners on. So we've got Sefu Jamal, who runs quite a few of the run-through events based in London. So he's sub 14 minutes and is a great supporter of all of our events. So it's great to see him actually in a top flight. I know he's been, I think, preparing for half marathon and potentially marathon when I'd spoke to his coach earlier on in the season. Great to see him there. There's some others who I'd highlighted, like low 14 minutes, or 14:12 for Daniel Wallace, 14:05 for Jack Miller. So some really good runners.
Josh Hobbs is back again. He's a regular on the scene.
Yeah, he's already got points, hasn't he?
Mr. Winrow, only from this year. So again, another athlete who's taking up new training, and Craig's he's a world-class coach, isn't he? So it'd be great to see him back out, see if what he can do. He's got a 14:51 personal best. It's the course to do it at this time of year as well. And
where did he race before? Which one has he done?
It was the Nantwich 10K.
Yeah,
was it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Nantwich 10K.
It was the Ding Dong Battle. And
Ding Dong Battle.
I think the thing for, say, like Josh Hobbs and Ben Felton, who he paced Nina to her win in the Battersea one last time when she ran the 15:34. Ben's obviously, looks like he's going to be running it for himself this time, so he can make a bit of improvement. But he scraped 1 point in Battersea, even with pace and Nina. So actually, a little bit further down the field, you're going to have Ben and Josh hopefully picking up some points as well. Or even if they don't pick up the points, they're going to at least be getting that second race on the board. So that's already an advantage for them. By coming back. So it's going to be great to see the race like a little bit further down the field as well. Yeah. And hopefully we'll nail it a bit better with the timing chips, because we're getting better with that each time. We should have 2 cameras set up. So we've got Danny, we've got Kaylin, who did the camera for Amy Eloise at Aintree. So Kaylin's on the camera as well. So we should have the 2 streams, we should have the chips. Hopefully I'm working with Open Track to get the results coming up on the screen like they did at the Jarrow track, BMC.
Oh, yeah.
But because that's new, every event we're trying to add something new, right? We just keep adding. And then you're obviously going to get some technical glitches because we just keep adding and not pausing.
Ribble,
but I think we've just got to keep going. Yeah, we just keep pushing until we get everything right. And let's Let's get onto the ladies' race as well, because that is
mean,
going to be
stacked.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Stacked.
I mean, I was looking, it looks like there's about 12, 13 girls, all from like 16 to 16:30. And then you've got a few under that 16 mark as well. So Stacey Smith, she ran 15:51 at podium 5K, which is kind of similar in the sense that it's got the straights and then quite sharp turns. Like Battersea does have that like 90-degree turn, which can kind of cause you got to decelerate and then accelerate. So 15:51 there's very quick, and then obviously she did well at the Jarrow track. You've got Yvette Locke, Thames Valley. She ran 33:07 at the Battersea under the lights, and she ran that by herself. So
you were saying
being in a group and being mixed amongst the guys will definitely pull around. So I definitely think she's a strong contender.
16:03 PB, so it could be.
I reckon
could be taken. Yeah, could be taken sub 16, which would be a big, a big mental barrier, wouldn't it? Another 16:03 there as well, Becky Straw. So they're really closely matched.
Experience on the international stage goes a long way, especially in races like this as well. So
Louise Small, season's best 16:03.
Yeah.
A few there around that 16-minute mark. I mean, Louise has got the pedigree of being sub 16 in the past and run 15:40, but
she's always there or thereabouts.
Yeah, exactly. And knocking on the door, and it's like what we were saying about athletes that you just get into races and you have them races that kick you on. She might have been in a block of training or whatever, and this might be that race that really pulls that that sub 16 performance out again, which you would imagine, given the course, given the caliber of the field, and it's a mixed race as well. Them ones that are teetered around that 16-minute mark, it's got potential to be a big night for them. I reckon.
You'll have those athletes that are going for the sub 16-minute mark, but you've also got a lot of female athletes in there that are very close to sub 17, which is kind of like, I feel like going from 17 to a 16-minute 5K runner is quite a big flip, because as soon as you're in the 16s, you're like, I could maybe like break 16 now. It really pushes you. So having those faster athletes that are running like high 16s, mid 16s will help the low 17s come down. So I think it'll be a really good like racing environment for all the women that are running in that race.
Just another one as well on Louise Small. I mean, looking at her records for this year, she's raced a lot of park runs, but the main thing is that she split 16:33 at Highgate.
That's
33:40. So she's in great form. And she, like I say, I've seen her race before. She's a great athlete, I think.
So on form, she would be the class of the field. But also, there's these other girls who are knocking on the door for that 16 minutes, and even the ones who are like just shy of that, just outside, like Amy Griffiths, 16:00 in terms of PB. Harriet Blur, 16:12. Dominique Carradi, 16:19. And then we've got Charlotte Penniman coming across from Belgium, who's 16:32 but 9:23 3K. So that indicates again, that's like she's got a little bit of speed in there if she can get in a group. I'm probably going to be in this group by the looks of it.
I'll tell you what, this is a mint field.
It's going to be really exciting to watch.
It's what we want.
To be fair, they've got a 16-minute
You want to pack with the kids to go. If 3, 4, 5 people all amongst it in the two different categories, all battling it out, and then we're getting excited about big red. Go on, he's driving the arm. No, what was it you said the other week?
Don't know, mate, just flows out me naturally.
She's driving the arms and he's pumping the legs. When you did that, I knew. I was like, I'm not mad.
I was proper invested, like trackside.
It was so funny. He was so good.
When you were doing the first one though, and the men's air race, and they were going by with a pacemaker, I was like, I don't know if any of them set out, but I was proper at Cameron Allen, like when he was at the front.
I was intimidated to get on the mic. But just in case people are wondering what we're talking about, this man was absolutely fantastic on the mic. He was the main man at Jarrow at the Top Flight track series.
I'm the race presenter now.
He is very good. Very good. He's a natural. He's got a bit of a knack for it, haven't you?
Yeah, I don't know.
President of your fan club over here.
I am, yeah.
I thought you were good though, Cam.
Yeah, I wasn't able to match your.
Cam was proper nervous,
he's got a husky voice, so like he's like.
You were proper nervous because we got the mic, and Parsi was just like, "Just go down and commentate about the race until we get this live stream." So me and Cam were just looking at each other, and I was like, "There's the mic." Cam said, "I think you should do this, Sonny. I better me." Now you take the first one.
I was like, "What does he want us to do?"
There was a bit of adapting because it was great that we had the Northeast Masters Championships was on there, allowed us to jump on the end of their booking, so we could like keep the staff and keep the first aid and stuff. So it was great. They did us like a massive favour, but also we were supposed to get in like an hour beforehand to be able to set up inside the commentary box and get everything. But we couldn't get them like turned around and out because the event was overrunning on the javelin or whatever it was, a discus. So then I was like, right, okay, well I couldn't actually set up to then get out. So I was like, right, Rich, you just get out there. Cameron, you get in there. But all the races were like on time. It was just we couldn't get the live stream up and running in time. It didn't affect the athletes. Yeah, we needed a good half hour to set it up, and we got about like 3 minutes or something. So
they wouldn't have known it was just a live stream.
I spoke to one of the athletes, and I said, I think it was Scott Armstrong, and I was like, we had a bit of technical difficulties just getting the live stream up and running, and he was like, I didn't even realise it was it was all spot on, everything was like smooth and the transitions were smooth. Yeah.
All the pacemakers look good as well in their blue run-through vest. We'll go through the prize money, right, for Battersea just to give it a last little big up, and then we can just have a shout out of who we think's gonna win.
This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, so the prize money would be the same in terms of like £200 for the win any time. And then after that, it's 250 in addition to that 200 if you're under the bonus times, which are 14.15 for the men and 15.45 for the women. So if you do have a bunch of the ladies working together, we could see quite a few of them achieve that, I think.
Absolutely. Especially when they're mixed amongst the men as well.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think on the men's side, again, this could be not the first time, because at Newcastle we paid out for the top 3 hitting the bonuses, but we could hopefully see at least a handful. We would like to see 10 people and then the top 8 hitting the bonus times, obviously. But then course record bonuses. The course record bonuses are set at 14 minutes for the men, 14 flat for the bonus payout, just because the times are still like relatively weak compared to some other events, and the women's 15:30 because Nina ran 15:34, but then Amy Eloise went and ran 15:30.
So strong.
So we've set it on that. So 15:30 is the next time to look at. UK leads, they're quite high. Maybe it's possible, but I'm not sure whether they're slightly out of the range. 13:31 from Rory Leonard and 15:18 from Abby Donnelly. That one's the one that's a little bit more realistic. Looking at
that's real deal stuff. That
it is. Rapid. But looking at Louise Small's current form, is 15:18 possible? Who knows in great conditions? And then run-through record, which is a 500 bonus, 13:46 from Scott Beatty at last year's Quayside 5K.
The Marbeth
boys romping it. The
caveat on the ladies is that it had to be faster than 15:15, so the carrot is still dangling, but it's got to be a high bar, but they're not totally unachievable. So
they're not just not out of sight, are they?
So quick fire then. Who we going for the wins? We'll go on the men's and then the men's and the women's. So Jasmine, men's.
Okay, for men's, I'm going to go for Alfie Manthorpe. I just think 13:50 at Armagh back in Feb, and then 13:56 at UK Champs, and obviously championship racing. The first mile and a bit is like jogging. So I'm going to go Alfie for the men, and then women. I'm actually going to say Yvette Locke, just because I feel like she's familiar with Battersea. She did that 33 basically flat by herself. So I think being in a group, she'll run pretty quick. Definitely under 16, I think.
Interesting. I see. Has it not been for the fact that Jacob Allen has had a break from, by the looks of things, from the Power of 10 since the road relays? I'm not sure, maybe if there's been a niggle there, or there's been some kind of illness, or he just decided to take a break from training. But because of that, and based on solely on that, I would say Alfie Manthorpe should take the victory. He's a great athlete, so I can't see him being beaten. But who knows? And then also on the women's, I'm going to go for our Stacey Smith. Yeah, I think
She's
she can bring
definitely
on
on
the.
the
I think she can
ascendancy.
bring on the.
Yeah,
Definitely bring on the medal. The win.
wouldn't rule it
and yeah, she's in great form. And if it comes down to a sprint finish, I mean, she's got great turnover. So I think I'll say her.
Yeah, I can't give you any more than what he said. I'm with the exact same. I think Alfie Manthorpe, you know, what Cam said about the other athletes as well gives us a little bit more context that anyone that we think might have been in contention to beat him has potentially had a break from the sport for a little bit. So I think that changes things. Might have had a niggle or whatever. So I think that changes things. I can't see past Alfie has taken the number one spot there. And yeah, Stacey Smith, I think, again, you know, just echoing what Cam said, she's on an upward trajectory for a kick-off. She's got good strength from her results in the podium 5K. She's got good speed and lactic endurance at the moment from a solid 14:19 opener over 1500 for her first track race in years. I find it hard to see past them two qualities that anyone can really beat her in the field at this moment. Also, I feel like just the pressure's off her a bit.
The pressure's definitely
and I
off,
think she's just
really
creeping
enjoying
under
it.
the radar. She's knocking out these results that are, you know, well, they're that good. We're sat here talking about them.
Yeah.
She's knocking out these results, and I just, I can't see past her not taking the victory. So, Alfie and Stacey for me.
Yeah, Fab. Well, since I'm in the race and I don't want to get accused of
Oh,
match
God.
fixing.
No, sorry.
I'm not.
Chris
I'm not.
Barr for the win.
I can't be accused of
He's
fixing.
our question,
So
isn't he? Like, he just
So I'm
doesn't
not.
come into the
I'm not
race.
giving my predictions. I'm just going to predict on the winning times. I'm hoping for a sub 14, and
Definitely
sub 14 and sub 15:30. That's what I would like to see.
You
and
think? Sub 15:30 on the cards?
maybe I can not get beat by too many of the ladies.
Yeah.
For my own.
You never
personal
know what
Just
happens.
embrace it. Just
Yeah.
embrace it.
No,
Oh,
well,
I think Stacey's going to dust
no,
you.
Stacey
will want to.
I'm
Tell you
training
what,
with Stacey, so I'm just like,
Yeah.
shall I
I'll
get
tell you
involved
what,
with the race with her? Probably not.
it'll be good to see her just turn around at 3K, give you a look, and just ease away from her.
Yeah,
I'm
my
looking forward to
instruction.
that.
Yeah,
Right,
Nathan's going to know if I've
bye.
raced her, isn't he? So,
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, thank you for coming along again, and yeah, really looking forward to Battersea, and then we'll see you again afterwards for the next run after that, which will be Quayside 5K as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cheers.
Chris,
Yeah.
you know, thanks for having us
See you
for
soon.
Thank you.
another excellent Top Flight Pod show. Yeah, and we'll be back on YouTube.